Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In this video, we're going to take an in-depth look at this 2025 GMC Denali. This is not the ultimate, but it has ultimate features like Super Cruise. If you're looking for three-row incredible luxury that combines old school V8 capability with new school amazing technology, comfort, and luxury, you need to look at this thing, especially if you have big people in your family and you still want to haul them around. This is the vehicle for you. Let's jump right in. But before we get started, I want to say a big thank you to Impex Auto Sales in Greensboro, North Carolina for the opportunity to film this beautiful GMC Denali. If I could, I would. This is one amazing machine. Look at all that chrome. It's got cameras everywhere. It's got LED light stacks everywhere, including the fog lights. Under the hood is a big old fat V8. Nothing six-cylinder here like everybody else. It's not a six-cylinder turbo. It's a big fat juicy V8. Although you can get a turbo diesel in this, but I like this one. Produces all the power that you're gonna need. It's incredibly fuel inefficient, but don't worry about fuel inefficiency because you get to drive around in this. And if you're worried about how much gas is costing, you shouldn't buy this anyways. One of the things that I like most about this vehicle is the remote start. GM has always done remote start better than any brand, hands down. It's not even close. Here's what I mean. It just works. All I did was hit this button twice. That's it. And it cuts on. And it does what it's supposed to do. And then whenever you get in the vehicle, the climate system is automatically set to where it was set when you got out of the vehicle. So right now it's gonna be nice and cool. And it also is still going with the door open. So when I get in the vehicle, the engine is running and the air is cool, and I can get in and I can get situated and I'm not sweating like crazy or I'm not freezing. By the way, when it's cold, the seats will be warm and the steering wheel will be warm. And then all I do is hit the start button and go. The engine never has to shut off. In Lexus vehicles, you have to pay for the remote start after a trial period. And then when you get in, the engine turns off. This is the way remote start needs to be done. Thank you, GM, for doing it so well. It also has 22-inch bling that says, yeah, I'm extra. What are you gonna do about it? It also has power running boards. That's nothing new, but it's still super cool. You can tell it's a big old GMC Denali by the rear. You can see Denali badging there, big and bold. Yukon with 4 tailpipes. And then when that thing starts up, you can hear the beautiful hum, the gurgle of the big V8. You've got all kinds of camera system here. Then you've got a little latch here. You just squeeze it, step back, and wait for just a second. And that big old thing comes up, and you can see the tremendous expanse of room. That second row seating is incredibly luxurious. But look at how much room you have when that third row seat is folded back. Then you have that big panoramic sunroof right there. I love GMC floor mats. It's like high pile carpet. You can also fold that third row right here. This is how you fold the seats up and down. And then that's actually how you tumble them forward by pressing that twice. Then you can come here and press this button and it will fold down the back door automatically for you. Coming right here to the second row, this is what I was talking about. There goes your board right there, your running board, so you can step right up into this glorious amazing luxury that awaits. These second row seats are heated. You also have entertainment here, and you can connect your Netflix account, Hulu, YouTube, all kinds of stuff there. Then you have controls here for your climate and for your audio. You have HDMI ports there as well. Then you have a little center aisle that allows you access into the third row. There's that panoramic roof again. Look at all this open pore real wood trim. I'm not a huge fan of how this is painted, and you can tell when you're in person, but you know, it's whatever. Then you have that Bose surround sound stereo system. And finally, coming around to the front, it is pure luxury from top to bottom. Front seats, heated, air conditioned, bolstered, stitched. Look at that stitching right there. Isn't that fantastic? Tons of room. Everything is just huge in this vehicle. And we're going to get into all of the beautiful things that await the driver in this video right now. It has a length of 210 inches, width 81 inches, height 76.5 inches with the standard suspension, wheelbase 120.9 inches, ground clearance 8 inches and up to 2 inches with the air ride, and a curb weight of 5,800 pounds. So now here we are inside the Denali, and the air conditioning is blowing really, really hard. Remote start is working. You don't see anything, right? Until you put your foot on the brake. The start button is down here. You just push the start button in, and you'll probably hear the AC get a little bit less now because it's going to adjust it to the right temperature. What it was doing while remote start was activated was cooling the interior as much as it possibly could. So this is what it looks like from the driver's seat sitting in the Denali. First impressions are just incredibly luxurious. I love it. You can see the top of the steering wheel is slick, and that's because it's got Super Cruise lighting there. That you can see the all digital cluster. Steering wheel has lots of different controls on it. There's a little eye right here. That's what watches your eyes or face position to make sure that you are looking at the road while using Super Cruise. You can see that the steering wheel is nice and luxurious. You have a leather wrapped steering wheel with stitching here, plus some beautiful brushed aluminum trim with Denali badging right there, right on the front of the steering wheel. Then this is a big bank of buttons that you have in front of your left knee while you're sitting in the driver's seat. You can see very top left is your park brake, and then right here at the in this bank of buttons, this is going to be the 360 camera system. Then that is parking assist, automatic engine shut off, lane keeping, parking aid right there, that button here, downhill assist control, and then traction control off. Then you have four-wheel drive system here, lighting here, and then trailer braking right there. That's a huge bank of buttons in front of your left knee while you're sitting in the driver's seat. And then here are your controls for all of your windows and your locks and your mirrors, your memory seat system. And then here is your heads-up display. That heads-up display is really big. I like that. You can see right now it has miles per hour set in it. And in the very top left, I don't know if you can see it or not, but right there that's the lane mitigation. So that it's kind of a safety thing there. And then here is your steering wheel. On the left side of the steering wheel is going to be cruise control features, and this is like your gap distance between you, gap adjust for your radar cruise control. This is how you actually set the cruise control. This is like for a lower gear. This is Super Cruise, and this is for activating and deactivating cruise control. You do have paddle shifters here. You can downshift on the left and upshift on the right. And then over here on the right side, you have voice commands, and it's Google voice commands. So that's really, really efficient. Then you have music here, and this is just a check mark. So anytime you see a check mark right here in your digital display, it's referring to this button. And when you hit this, it will do whatever that suggests. This button allows you to change the layout of your digital dash. That's really neat. Heated steering wheel, and then telephone right there. So then if you want to change the layout, the button on the bottom right of the steering wheel, you can press that. And look at that. My goodness, that is so nice, so clean and bright. You can press it again. It's an overhead map view. Press it again, and the primary focus is going to be gap adjust for radar cruise. And then on the right side is music, on the left side is your digital speedometer, your gas, your RPM, and things like that. Hitting it again, and then the primary focus is going to be your miles per hour, clock and temperature on the left, clock and temperature in the middle now, and this is more of a traditional layout with your tachometer on the right and your speedometer on the left. Back to the map. So me personally, that's pretty cool, but I kind of like that one. Now for the star of the show, as far as the center console, as the interior is concerned, is this gigantic display. And it's not as it's not as big and as like overwhelming as you might think, although it is this big. That's quite large. So whenever you hit the home screen, this is the screen that comes up. And you can see we're at the top of the screen, and it's incredibly sensitive to touch, which is really good. I really like that. You can go to My Vehicle Status, and it gives you a picture of your vehicle, and you can simply do this to check all kinds of different things inside or on the vehicle itself. Engine air filter life, battery voltage, brakes and air pressure, brake pad life, air pressure in the tires. So each one of the tires has one of these symbols there. Isn't that fantastic? You can go maintenance, gauges, and trip if you want to. Look at all of that information. So then we can go back to home, My GMC, Google Assistant. See, you can hit that and you can just speak to it, or you can hit the button that's on the steering wheel. You can go Play Store, and that will allow you to use your own Google account to access the Play Store for different apps. Then there is CarPlay, so you can see how efficient everything is. Camera system, you can hit all kinds of different views on the camera system. There's the back, there's the front from above, side mirrors, left and right, trailering, all kinds of interesting stuff. And so then you can go Alexa, trailering right there is where you can add a trailer, settings, and so you can go vehicle settings and Super Cruise lane change, all kinds of stuff. Buckle to drive, turn signal activated view, look at all that stuff. Power assist steps, you can make it so that they're stowed right now. You can deploy them. Listen. And the vehicle shook a little bit. Now we'll stow them. There it is. So you've got all kinds of stuff. Remote lock, unlock, and start. As I said, I am a massive fan of GMC's remote start stuff. Best in the industry, hands down. Back to home, auto park assist, climate system. All climate settings synced with driver. You can do that if you want to. For example, if you're the only one driving, Wi-Fi hotspot, then audio system. This allows you to pick the source of audio. So you can go here, then there's Google Maps. The map is absolutely incredible. It's super detailed, super sensitive to touch, and it's just incredibly responsive. If you're familiar with how Google works on an Android phone, then or even just Google Maps period, you'll love that. And then there's phone right there. So this is settings, and this is also some controls and safety things. Heads up display, add universal remotes if you want to add a remote for a garage or a gate system or something like that. Blind zone steering assist, I love that. Child safety locks, and then power assist steps. Then you have a screen here to where you can make your kind of your home screen, but divide it up into different sections. So here's the map, here's trip information, here's Google Assistant, then there's audio, Then there's the map. And then down here at the very bottom of the screen is going to be all climate stuff. When you hit sync, it syncs the temperature for the driver, the passenger, and the rear, all at the same temperature. Although the rear, if you give them control, they can control their own if they wish. This is going to be fan direction, and then this is going to be for your heated seats. You can heat just the back, you can heat the back and the bottom, or you can air condition it, and it is obviously air conditioned right now. Then you have your fan speeds. That increases fan speed, decreases it right there. These are some. Then you can also do switches right here if you want to do this for switches. That's really cool. So then let's go here so that you can hear me. And then down here, a little bit further down, you're going to see a couple of doors. This door reveals a tray that is your wireless charging for your phone, and then you also have cup holders here. A really nice feature that the Denali has in it is a rear camera view system. So this is looking out the rear, or this is using an extra camera in the back in order to see what's behind me in real time. You can make that active all the time if you want to, or you can flip it down for just a regular rear view mirror. But I like that. I just think that's the coolest. And then this is going to be for garage door openers. And then up here you have all kinds of controls. You have OnStar here, and then you have tilt, slide, and then opening the shade for your huge panoramic sunroof. And then you have controls here for your third row seating. So this is where you can actually raise and lower the third row seats right there. Lighting is here. So to drive this big old beast, all you do is take this stick right here, this stalk, pull it down, and now we're in drive. And we can take this beautiful machine out for a spin. Take a look at how tight that steering radius is. That's pretty sweet. This vehicle is not going to be for driving around a track. It's not going to be for driving fast. When you step into one of these things, you feel just by the nature of getting into it that you just want to kind of take it easy. You want to slow things down just a little bit, and that ain't a bad thing. I love getting behind the wheel of a big SUV because you feel like you have such command of the road, and it's just nice to be able to just stretch out. All right, here goes V8 power. That's on the floor. That's all you need right there. I love the way that feels. It's still holding the high gear. It's like, are you sure you don't want to go to the track? But then once she gets settled down and back into place, it's just nice. The air-conditioned seats, just the immense amount of room that is in this thing, especially for your rear passengers. It's so nice. My wife and I went out with another couple, and I wanted to see just how comfortable it was going to be for two adults in the back, and they just could not believe how much room was in this thing. I just turned on the right turn signal, and check that out. That's the mirror, or the camera on the right side rear view mirror, outside mirror. Isn't that nice? And then once you make your turn, it goes right back into the map. There's not the amount of body roll that you would expect to be in this thing. Of course there is body roll, but it's not a huge amount because the Magna Ride in this thing actually monitors the vehicle 1,000 times per minute, I think, and it basically dampens and stiffens and all that stuff to just make sure that you are comfortable at all times in your ride in this vehicle. It's just amazing. I can't say enough about it. I want to show you the beauty of the Super Cruise in this thing. We can use Super Cruise on this road, although we have to get down the road just a little bit. It is just incredible, Super Cruise is. All right, I'm going to try to activate Super Cruise here. Let's see if it will let me. Okay, it says it's not available to turn on adaptive cruise. Oh, there we go. So now I'm just letting go. And you can see the green light right here on the steering wheel. So now the vehicle is driving itself. And so now I'm hands-free. And I love this. There is just, can you imagine riding, just going on a trip, a long trip, and now we're up to 65, so let's get at least there. Can you imagine going on a long trip and just sitting here in the lap of luxury of this amazing machine and allowing it to chauffeur you down the road? When Super Cruise becomes unavailable, this will light up in red, and you'll also get a warning light right here on your dash. So, but as of right now, we're just riding along and all is well. Then you have the Google Assistant voice that you can use at any time. Hey Google, set the temperature to 72 degrees.
Okay, changing the temperature to 72 degrees.
How cool is that, literally? So you can use Google for all kinds of different things just by saying what I just said to the machine. Hey Google, find nearby coffee shops.
There's Northern Roots Coffee House 5 miles away. Want to navigate there?
No thank you.
How about a special blend 3.3 miles away?
No thanks, I'm okay for now.
There's Bella Chow 3.9 miles away. How about there?
No thanks.
Should I keep going?
No.
Alright, I won't add a stop right now.
So you can see it tried to take me to the first 3, but then there's your nearby coffee shops. It's also compensating for the vehicle that's in front of me, and I have it set at 71, and so now I'm going to go from 65 up to 71 automatically because it sensed that the Camry in front of me is out of my way now, and it's just now the Camry, look, this Camry is going to be back in front of me, so it's automatically going to set the pace. That's pretty cool. So now I am actually going to get over. Super Cruise will deactivate, and there's my camera. And so now I took over, but it felt totally seamless. Man, this is just wonderful. So now let's get on to the highway. See what we've got. Boy, that is great right there. Woo-wee! That feels really good. I wasn't expecting all that. That's nice. And I think you can probably see it, but the clarity of this mirror right here, it is like super high definition. That is wonderful. And then here's Super Cruise again. There we go. Oh, by the way, the Bose stereo system in this vehicle is fabulous. It's very deep, and you can adjust it in all kinds of different ways, and it's very clean and crisp, and it gives just real depth to your music. Well, that's gonna do it for our look at the 2025 GMC Yukon Denali with Super Cruise. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and let me know what you think about this vehicle in the comments section below. Would you pay around $80,000 to $90,000 for this vehicle? I know if I had it and I could, I would. I love this thing. But remember, the most important thing of all, everyone, have a wonderful day.